Welcome. Thank you for checking out this video. Appreciate you so much. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So, I did a video the other day about Angel Reese's comments about the players sitting out if they don't get what they want. And a lot of people, a lot of response I've seen to that is, well, she was saying that that's what she was hearing, not that she was saying that specifically, which I guess they wanted to differentiate because of the way it sounded. If we don't get what we want, we're sitting out. So I get it. I get it a little bit, but right here we have WNBA star Napheesa Collier touts union leverage in CBA talks, and guess what? She says the same thing when it comes to a strike. Now, this is the WNBPA, right? Players Union Executive Committee Vice President. If anyone should know, it is her. We're also going to get into that leverage thing here in a minute, but I want to check this as it says right off. She echoed recent comments from Angel Reese about possibly sitting out, the players actually going on strike. So, where is it? Yeah, in fact, it says when asked what she's most looking forward to in the 2025 WNBA season, she said the CBA, which is actually kind of wild that that is your absolute focus. So, and then they talk about Reese. This is the first that I've been a part of. It's going to be really fun because the changes that are going on in the sport, taking the leverage we've been able to garner. What leverage? Seriously, serious question here. What leverage? We'll continue with that real quick, and then I'll get into my comments about this. She believes a massive rise in viewership last season, and in her words, stars becoming national superstars has given the WNBPA more bargaining power. No, this is what I keep saying, and this is why I bring this up again and how it's so important that they're having a. This is fundamentally wrong. What does she mean? And first of all, what does she mean she's hearing a strike is on the table? She's the WMBPA vice president, executive committee vice president. She's an important part of the negotiations. She should know what is going on. But this leverage stuff that we keep hearing when talking about the players, the leverage they have, and they talk about the viewership. I feel that the WNBA players are making a serious miscalculation and they need to get out of their bubble. They need someone. Look, I get going into a negotiation and you're going to ask for more than you think you can get. I get that 100% from both sides. I get that. You come in with, we want all these things, and you know in the back of your mind that you have something that's less than that, that you will settle for, that you will be okay with, but you don't start there. I get it completely. I think we all understand that. But if they're really taking the viewership and all that into consideration and they think that gives them leverage, I think they have a problem going into these negotiations. And I think then the negotiations will stall. And whether it is a strike or a lockout, there may not be basketball in 2026, or at least there may only be a partial season, depending on how far apart the WNBA and the players are. Because if the players truly believe this, they have this leverage, and they ask, and their settle point is for more than the WNBA can or is willing to give them, that is going to be a problem because the WNBA has not had growth. That they say that they have had Caitlin Clark and one player while having an incredible impact and lifting the rest of the boat a little bit. One player does not a league make. You cannot survive on one player's games being 1.17 million viewers and every other game in the league drawing 394,000. And we've seen again with Unrivaled that there really simply isn't a market. And some people will say, well, oh, that's, it's 3v3 and this and that. But again, think of it in any other sport. If and I know they wouldn't do it, so it's hard to wrap your mind around. But think of the NBA and that these are supposed to be the biggest stars in the NBA in their off season played a 3v3 league like this, or the NFL's biggest stars played in a flag football league like this in the same time as setup. I guarantee you there would be better ratings. There may not be ratings to the NFL itself or the NBA, but there would be better ratings if they truly had these fans that they say that they have. You would get more than 100 to 190,000 viewers tuning in for unrivaled games. It is not a huge commitment. The games don't take very long. There's what, two on Friday, two on Saturday, and two on Monday. I think, is that right? Did I do that right? Yeah, I think so. And that's it. I mean, it's not a big commitment. If you're a true fan of all these players, if we've had this serious growth that Napheesa Collier is talking about and Angel Reese is talking about and all that, you would see a whole lot more in terms of the viewership and Unrivaled. And then this was weird to me. It talks about the NWSL athletes securing one of the most player-friendly CBAs in American sports history last year. And by the way, shout out again for those of you that listen to a lot of my videos. You know I'm a huge soccer fan as well, huge women's soccer fan. I've seen multiple leagues fail as they try and grind their way to making the women's game successful in the U.S. It took a long time to make the game successful. So it's not even like we're talking about a successful sport on the men's side and then the women trying it, right? They really had to grind because the men are even still grinding. But I don't think that means anything for the WNBA. It really doesn't. It's, Collier said, you're seeing the power shift to the players, and especially for us right now, it's such a power that we hold that we need to use correctly in the CBA negotiations. Again, I ask, what power? What power are you holding? I just talked about it. We also have, don't forget, the Indiana Fever setting attendance records, crushing attendance records. League teams are moving games to bigger arenas for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, not for everyone, for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. And yes, I know people will come back and say, oh, well, they also moved this one game and this. Yeah, there are a couple other games are moving. They're all moving for the Fever. No one is permanently moving to a bigger arena because they can't fill them. And then Collier talks about, she said, unrivaled superior salary structure has added fuel to WNBA player demands, which include a greater cut of revenue. Again, the way Unrivaled is set up with these minimal expenses, this one location, this tiny gym with basically no fans, all about the media money for 36 players, you cannot in any way, shape, or form compare the salaries in Unrivaled to the WNBA and the added costs of running a true professional basketball league. This is absolutely wild. But we'll see what happens. I just think seeing this from a player union vice president is a big deal. And so this is clearly what the players are on board with and what they're going in. I would love to see. I wish somebody would leak some of the actual demands. That would be cool to see. And again, I know it's a starting point. It doesn't necessarily mean what they're going to settle with. I get all that, but I'm going to leave it there. I want to know what you all think about this. Are the players approaching it the right way? And behind the scenes, if this is what they're doing, do you think this is going to be a problem? We haven't heard from the WNBA at all, and which I guess I think is smart. And this is what I believe the players are hoping on. I think they'll have the media on their side in how everything is framed, which could make it more likely they get a lot more of what they want. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out this video, supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I think YT, because I've done some touchier subjects in some of my videos. I don't think YouTube is showing them as much as they use. What's the term? Shadow banned? It sure seems to be that way when I look at the viewership time and the click-through rate and all that, but the views aren't there. It's kind of wild. But anyway, appreciate you checking this out and all your support, and I will talk to you later.